Well, as the aerospace industry pushes on relentlessly towards a carbon zero future, there's a lot of pressure going on the technology providers. Now, I'm joined now by Dr. Claus Riegler, who is the Chief Technology Officer for MTU Aero Engines. Now, what's happening now? The technology has got to be increasing to get us to those targets.
You're absolutely right, Alan. I think we have a huge challenge ahead of us, both society, politically, but also from an industrial perspective. And we are very actively working on those technologies to get us forward in terms of climate reduction for commercial aviation.
So when do you think we're going to start seeing the quantum leaps we need to be making to get to zero?
Yeah, I think if you look at the technology, which you have to turn into a product later on, and then you have to validate the product, certify the product, and get it into the fleet. And then it takes another 15 years until the fleet really holds sufficient numbers of aircraft. We are probably 20 to 25 years away from getting new technology into the fleet. So we need some bridging mechanism before we really benefit from that technology.
So it's pretty tight on that 2050 promise, isn't it? What's the exciting bits that you think is good that's happening at MTU?
Well, we have a couple of ideas how we can actually address climate neutral flying. We have a wet concept, we have a flying fuel cell concept. We're all merging that into our technology roadmap. And it's very exciting, it's attracting new talent. And we are very much working on that, investing a lot of our own money and of governmental money, funding money in order to get there. And that's very exciting for an engineer, of course.
Now, can I ask you a kind of combined thing about really the supply chain issues of getting what you need to be able to achieve this, but also the people, the skills that we haven't got, or the numbers of people. How's MTU dealing with that crisis?
Yeah, you're bringing up a very good point. Obviously, there is something ahead of us like 20 years climate neutral flying, but then we have in the here and now, we have a significant problem in ramping up the supply chain after COVID crisis. Everybody is struggling to getting raw material and to getting the parts in hands. So we are addressing that by double sourcing, for example. We are managing the supply chain. We have very good relationship to our supply chain. I think we are on a good track, but there is still some time to go until we recovered from COVID. On the resource side, we are actually very successful. We have a concept which we call Center of Competencies, where we draw young talent from universities, from academia, and we are quite successful in hiring new talent.
Fantastic. And the other thing is changing manufacturing processes. We hear a lot about artificial intelligence. Some think it's a threat and some see it as a promised future. Where do you stand and what are you doing about AI?
We definitely see the upside, the potential of artificial intelligence. You're absolutely right. There is a threat as well. But I think leveraging that technology in terms of handling large quantities of data, especially data where you don't have a direct simulation-based relationship between input and output, you have a huge chance to better understand, to better manage the data, to turn big data into smart data and learn from it and benefit from it.
Claus, thank you very, very much for your time.
You're very welcome, Alan.